Okay, hello everyone. This is kind of such a different, weird video for me, but today I'm getting ready for my friend Tina's birthday dinner, and I decided to film like a get ready with me. Ew, this looks ugly. I decided to film a little get ready with me, but instead of doing like a normal get ready with me, because I don't really like to talk about makeup or like do like a makeup tutorial because I literally have no clue what I'm doing. I have like one routine and I do it all the time. I decided to talk about spirituality. I already have fake eyelashes on, except they're kind of applied a little bit weird. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, but decided to talk about spirituality, manifestation, my favorite ways to manifest, like crystals, self-concept, detachment, scripting, and all that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna be doing it in like a very informal manner, as if we were on FaceTime, and this is probably gonna be all over the place and unorganized, but we're just gonna, I guess, be having a little spiritual chat. My just overall thoughts on manifestation and just my overall experience with manifestation and spirituality as a whole. I'm gonna be looking really gorgeous throughout this whole video probably, and I'm not gonna be looking in the camera, so I'm just gonna start doing my makeup, I guess, and just speak. But pretty much my experience with spirituality, I guess, and like manifestation started, I feel like I always manifested, but kind of like on like intentionally, like before I even knew what it was and stuff. Even when I was little, I was like kind of very into just like, this is gonna sound weird, but if you knew me in like middle school and elementary school and stuff, I was just like always, this is gonna look really freaking scary, but I promise it all comes together. I was always just into like weird, oh my god, I can't believe I'm sharing this, but I was always into just like weird little spells and doing little like beauty rituals and like little spells and like journaling and keeping a diary. I just always like thought all of that stuff was like very fun. And then as I started like growing up, and I think in high school, I really, once like spirituality and crystals and all that stuff really started picking up and becoming popular, I got into it a lot more seriously, because I started reading all of these different like self-help books and watching all these videos on how like your thoughts affect your reality, and like the power of manifestation and law of attraction and all those kinds of things. And I really started like taking that like seriously my sophomore year of high school, I would say. And let me put hairspray on this. And after like reading a bunch of books, I like realized like, yeah, like this is true. Your thoughts literally do affect your reality. Like what you say, what you put the most attention to, that's what's gonna keep appearing in your life. Like I'm such a firm believer of that. And obviously that's like all easier said than done. I feel like it's a lot more harder than it seems, especially if you're used to like a certain way of thinking, or if you grew up in like a certain environment. But I guess throughout the years, and obviously I'm not an expert in this, but like throughout the years, after just reading more about it and really incorporating it in my life and like having results from it and stuff, whether it was me manifesting myself like more money in that moment, even like a certain person, or just like a certain like circumstance for myself, or like even like I feel like I do well manifesting more little specific things than like a bigger overall thing. Like for example, but I feel like one of the keys to manifestation is when you're manifesting something, especially in the beginning, you should really start off with something small and something that you believe is possible for you. Because for example, I can sit here right now and be like, I want to manifest like $1 million tomorrow. I can say that, but in my heart and like deep down in my soul, like in my subconscious, I don't really believe it's possible for me to manifest $1 million tomorrow. So that's not like a realistic goal for me to try to manifest and script about and attain, because first of all, that's not like a present desire and like an urgent desire that I need right now. And it's just not very realistic for me. But like, let's say I kind of make a little like note in my head, like, oh, like I manifested $10 tomorrow. Like that is a very huge possibility that can actually happen. And if I truly wanted to manifest that, like I probably could. Probably like within a week, I could manifest finding $10 some way, one way or another. I feel like one of the biggest things around manifestation, and like one of the biggest things that can help a person attract the kind of like friends they want in their life. I think this is also just really big with like attracting the kind of people you want in your life, or like the kind of friends you want in your life, and like, you know, certain opportunity. But I feel like working on the idea of self-concept, which is pretty much like how you view yourself. Like if you can manifest all you want, but if you deep down feel like, oh, that person is better than me, that person is too good to be with me, or I'm not smart enough for this job opportunity, or like, why out of all the people would this ever happen to me? Like that kind of thinking, that's not like an abundant way of thinking, and that's just like not, you have to changing that thought process and taking whatever you want. I look crazy. Why am I giving like a whole speech motivational, going completely off? But like taking things off the pedestal and taking off whatever you want off the pedestal, and really just being like, no, like why not me? Like I actually do deserve this. And like, or like, why not this person? Like I am good enough. Practicing your own self-concept and really working on yourself, like creating a version of you that you want to attract in a way, and like other people or other opportunities. Like for instance, sometimes I really struggle a lot with, currently I'm studying criminal justice, and I'm on my senior year of college, and I am planning on going into law school. So right now I'm like studying for my LSAT, and I struggle with the idea. I've always wanted to become a lawyer, but I struggle with the idea of just like believing I'm right for it, or that I'm smart enough to become a lawyer. Like sometimes I view myself as like, oh, maybe I'm like not serious enough to become a lawyer, and that's something that I recently started working on, since it's really like close to just becoming like reality of me going into law school. And I know that for me to be a successful lawyer and to be successful in my career, I really have to work on my self-concept in that area, and to start like viewing myself as a more serious person. I never really had the desire to do, because I've always just felt like, oh, I'm young, like I want to have fun and like all that kind of stuff. But currently I am working on like pretty much telling myself like I do deserve to be a lawyer. Like why not me? Like I should be taken seriously in this profession, because I work hard, I study hard for it, and like I do deserve it. So that's definitely something that I have started to work on this year. There's no reason why I should feel like it's too good of a profession for me. But I definitely have to keep working on that and building up my self-concept to like align myself with that reality, and to have just a more positive mindset when going into that career field, because it is a tough career field, and I think it is very crucial to have a positive mindset and to have like a certain mindset going into it in order to succeed. But yeah, that was just like one of the examples. I don't believe that you should be manifesting like a specific person that you know, just because I think that you should just like let that kind of stuff be, even though it does work. It just doesn't always like end up the way you want it to, because sometimes you do attract that kind of person and you realize like that's not even what you wanted. For people that are attracting a specific person, a lot of times we put like that person on a pedestal and kind of view them as like better than us. That's why we want them, and that energy actually pushes it away. That's why it's important, instead of just focusing on your like instead of focusing on your outer surroundings, it's really important to focus on you and to work on you and focus on your self-concept, and more of like in a way, like believing like, okay, I deserve this kind of person because like this is the way I am, because like I actually do deserve it. Like this isn't like lucky of me to get that attention, or like it's not lucky of me to get this opportunity. Like I deserve this opportunity because like because of the way I am, because I'm hardworking, because I'm confident, because I'm like deserving. And that's like, I feel like that's genuinely one of the biggest parts of manifestation. And that is so much like easier said than done. And it's something that I really started focusing on a lot more this year, because I feel like before, the mistakes I used to make with manifestation was putting out like more desperate energy into what I was manifesting, which that also goes into like detachment. And I'm sorry if this is just super rambly, but this is definitely going to be like a more informal conversation about spirituality. But obviously, if anybody wants me to talk about like certain topics more specifically and make videos about it like more in depth, I definitely will, and I definitely can, because I just find this stuff so interesting, and I read so much about all of this stuff that like I would love to literally make videos talking about it. And I'm obviously not an expert. Like I feel like everybody is just learning about all this stuff kind of at the same time, and it's just like what I find really interesting. That also goes hand in hand with detachment, because when you're just very desperate for something and you think something is, I guess, like too good for you, or maybe you're putting out like a desperate energy of just like, I need this right now. I noticed that whenever I feel that way about something, and I feel like very desperate to have it, and I'm hyper focusing on it every day, it doesn't come as easily as something that I kind of choose to manifest like in a more lighthearted way, like, oh, I would love to have this. Because whenever I think like that and I like write it down or something and I kind of don't think about it again, that's when I always manifest it. But when I really truly like need something in the moment, I literally never get it until I kind of give up and I'm like, well, fuck this, like I don't care anymore, and I kind of forget about it for a while. Then literally all of a sudden, always, like not even like maybe a month later, like half a month later, it always pops up and I always get it, and I'm like, wow. I remember I was so like upset, I wanted this so bad, I was so desperate for this, and then I just literally get it the moment I let it go. And I think that's the law of detachment. It's very important, because when you're sending out like desperate energy, it's coming from a place of lack, and you're literally acknowledging to the universe that you don't have it. But when you're kind of being more lighthearted about it and kind of are just like, okay, like I want this, or kind of coming from a place like, I already have this, because why wouldn't I have this? Like that's when it's very successful. But obviously bigger things and just like bigger opportunities or whatever are harder to attract, because it all depends on like, you know, your self-concept and your current beliefs that you're feeding yourself. I'm gonna keep using just my law journey as like an example, because I feel like I have manifested so many things when it comes to that. But for example, last year, my junior year of college, I was hyper focusing. I was like so stressed out. I was very just hyper focusing on, did I already do this? But I don't remember, whatever. I'm doing it again. I was hyper focusing on wanting a law internship. Like I was literally hyper focusing on it. I was emailing all these different like law firms and law offices, and I would it was giving me so much stress, because I knew I wanted an internship my first semester of my junior year, and I literally like couldn't sleep. I was writing about it in my journal every day, and I was like, I really want a law internship, like blah 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 blah. And I was emailing all these places, and they were not emailing me back, or they were only like taking law interns, and like you had to literally apply a year in advance. And then I remember randomly I was like so stressed out, and I kind of was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna focus on my schoolwork because I can't like neglect that because I am like too stressed out over wanting a law internship. And I remember my friend that I go to school with one day, and I went to high school with her, one day randomly just tells me about this law office she used to intern for that literally happens to be like 10 minutes away from my house. And I was like, oh my God, like literally no way. And she's like, yeah, like email them and like see if they reply. And at this time I was kind of still applying to all these different law internships and just really praying for one. And she just happened to like recommend me one. And I was like, oh my God. So I called them and I called the secretary, talked to her, and then she told me that the like main lawyer there was gonna call me back. And I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and I was like, oh my God, I just really want this like law internship, whatever. And I probably waited like 2 weeks while I was still applying, and then around Halloween I literally finally gave up. I was just annoyed. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna like get a law internship like over the summer or something like that. And literally the moment I gave up and I shifted my focus to something else, at the time I remember it was like maybe 2 weeks-ish before, what happened to my nose? It was maybe like 2 weeks-ish before Halloween or something like that. So I just kind of shifted my focus to being excited about Halloween, finding a Halloween outfit, and just like all that kind of stuff. And just for like literally 2 weeks completely just did not care anymore, because I'm like, okay, whatever, fuck this, I'm gonna worry about it in the summer. All of a sudden I get an email and I get a call from the law firm that my friend talked to me about that literally happened to be the perfect law firm for me because it was so close to my house. And the people were just like so perfect for me. It was literally pretty much like an all-female law firm. And it was just like so cool in there. And yeah, I got a law internship there. And once I finally like let go of that desperate energy where I'm like, I need this like right now, like I want it like my like first semester or junior year, whatever. Once I kind of just like manifested it and then just let it go completely and forgot about it, went on to do other things, it came. So I really think that when manifesting, you kind of put like focus on it for like maybe a day or something, like put your energy into it and be like, yes, I want this, journal about it, write about it, even like script about it, like write about like how it's gonna go, like I will get this and this, I will feel this, I will be there, maybe even what you're gonna be wearing, like something very specific. And then literally just like, okay, I did like everything I did for this to happen already. Like you obviously you have to still not just write it down, but put in the effort to like get that. Like for example, I was still emailing like and speaking to people to make it happen. You did what you had to do, just let it go, shift your focus to something else, maybe even try to manifest something else, or shift your focus to something fun like your friends or something else that you need to be dealing with in your life. Last year, I feel like I really got into using candles or items or crystal jewelry and stuff to kind of manifest. Not even in like a very specific way, but more like attract things, because I think it's just very all in your mind. Like I swear, like rose quartz I've loved like wearing rose quartz or any type of crystal jewelry, but rose quartz specifically, I just automatically, like my brain automatically associates that with good luck and just like good relationships, good friendships, good luck, like attraction, confidence, all that kind of stuff. I don't think it'd be like as effective if your brain doesn't really like, if that doesn't really make sense for you and you don't really associate it with that and you just kind of view it as a piece of jewelry. But for me specifically, it's like such a strong connection that I just like immediately, I feel like notice a switch and a difference whenever I literally put on my crystal jewelry or wear it. So I literally never take this carnelian ring off. And I lost this rose quartz bracelet for literally months, and I recently found it again and I'm just so happy. I just feel like that's something that's very effective for me, like intentionally wearing certain piece of jewelry or intentionally using like an item. And also I'm very big on like candles and candle colors and incense. I love just cleansing my energy with incense. I just genuinely feel like something in my brain really like likes that and clicks with it. So I think and I use that as like manifestation tools, and I use it with intention. So I'll light like my candles, like yellow candles, and I'll go to like crystal store, get a yellow candle, a purple candle for luck, for happiness, calmness in life, whatever, like red candle for attraction, pink candle for love, all that kind of stuff, and literally just light it in my room, and I'll be journaling and I'll be using my incense. And I'm not doing this like every day, but I do it often. I do it like literally like maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And I always just have like my candles lit, and the moment I light my candles, I'm like, okay, like this is good. This is gonna bring me good luck. And I do feel like it's very mental, because obviously the power is all in your mind. So when you use like physical tools in the physical world to help you like associate that with something that is getting created in your subconscious reality, I feel like that's just like so much more effective and so helpful in actually being able to create your physical reality in that way. If that makes sense. I can literally make a more specific video about it one day. I'm just kind of rambling, like speaking to the universe and putting out whatever it is that you want out there, and then mirroring like what kind of version you would be if you were to have that. And I think that's like when the most change and the most, I guess, like magic happens, and that's when you really see results. To close this topic off, I guess, you guys let me know in the comments if you want to talk about this more, and for me to make individual videos about it. But I feel like the things that really stuck with me when I learned about manifestation, and the things that I find to be most effective, is really journaling, lighting candles with intention, because I just like, that's just what I believe in, and it makes like the environment for me seem more magical, and it makes me feel like, oh, like I'm doing something about this. Wearing crystal jewelry, because I just always, my brain associates that with good luck. So I just get so excited whenever I get a new piece of crystal jewelry, and I swear, like every time I get like a new piece of crystal jewelry that I really resonate with, I just feel like my life in that moment goes up. And just really journaling about what I want, journaling with intention, scripting, so like journaling for the future, like journaling how things are going to be when I get this, and journaling about my self-concept. So like what kind of person I want to be by the end of this year, what kind of person do I already see myself as, I want more confidence, do I want to be more serious. Last year I was just going through like a lot, and I just really wanted to have like a more crazy like fun life, because that was my junior year of college, and I kind of like genuinely did have the time to just completely like go out, focus on making more friends, and just lead a more fun lifestyle, because before that I feel like I just really never went out. Despite it being a hard year, last year I had like the most fun year ever. Like I met so many new cool people. I just really like had like the most fun, had like the craziest, weirdest experiences. It was just like really fun, and it was something that was like completely different from what my life was the year before that. So yeah, and then this year I'm kind of more like calm, like I'm calmed down. I'm switching more into like work mode, serious mode. Like I wanna just more focus on like getting into law school this year, and just like take myself more seriously, and really be like centered on what I want. And I also wanna focus more on like loving my own company and spending time alone. So that's kind of stuff that I'm really just like focusing. Like it's like a complete like 360 from what I wanted last year, because I manifested what I wanted last year. Now I'm kind of like calmed down. So I think that's crazy, because I genuinely, like, my life changed so drastically. It was like 2 years before. So yeah, that's pretty much my little conversation on all of that. This is my completed makeup look. I don't really know what I'm wearing tonight. I don't think I'm gonna do this shirt, because it's just very summery and like it gives me like fairy vibes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little conversation. I don't even know how I'm gonna edit this video, because I genuinely just feel like I was rambling so much the whole time. But as you can tell, I am passionate about this topic, and I feel like I have just so much to say about it. So hopefully we can have a conversation about it in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video.